Okay. God. Hello. Hopefully everything is working all right. If it is, it'll honestly be surprising. Oh my god, I managed to do something. That is genuine shock. Yeah, so, I'm sorry for the somewhat, erratic, not very well, how do I word, streams don't really, this, my schedule's been a bit all over the place, you could say. Uh, and yeah, just had a lot of stuff going on, so it's happens. I so yeah. Essentially, I've got an exam tomorrow that I haven't studied for much, if at all. Which is, as you can imagine, a problem. Pretty big one, I'd say. So, since I can't find the motivation or will to get started and actually do the work I need to, uh, well, I'm gonna be streaming to try and motivate myself into working, which is, I think, somewhat maybe reliable or strategy. I mean, it might work, you know. Hmm. Because I am very behind in terms of classes. Like, I am only doing the last two chapters because they're the ones I followed least, but I think I just don't remember any of the shit that's any of the classes. So I've got 2 units to get through tonight, and hopefully just my prior knowledge and logic with economics will be able to get me to through the rest. That's very iffy plan, but it is the only one I've got, so gonna have to do with that. Yeah. Mm, yeah. I'm trying to just quickly looking through what I know and what I don't. And I also just realized I have a lot of homework that just is not done. That I had to have done. Uh, yeah, not having them done is quite the issue, really. Yes. Since I'm not gonna have any uh, game audio or anything in my ears tonight, I'm actually gonna put on some music. I'll try and see if I can work with it. If I can't, fine. But yes. Let me start. Alright, okay, there we go. That's something. Yes, so economics. That's what gonna be revising. Let me get my stuff. Everything's a mess. I'm surprised I've made it this far, to be honest. So I very much shouldn't have. Okay. Let me move to the side real quick. These are my notebooks. Ow. You can't see them because I don't have a camera. And if I did, I think I'd fuck it up somehow and like... what? No, that's not it. There we go. Rational consumer choice. That's something. I think I'm gonna try and like angle my computer like this so that I can kind of work with it. Yeah, I think that works better. I'm always gonna be looking right if I do it like this, but better than nothing, I suppose. So, let's see if I can, do this. So, rational consumer choice. Rational choice theory underlies all individual purchase decisions, which in turn add up to the demand curve. Taking prices as given, the consumer will allocate her income to best serve her preferences. To the combinations of goods the consumer is able to buy, select from among the feasible combinations the one that the consumer prefers to all others. Okay. Budget constraints. Bundles, particular combination of 2 or more goods. For simplicity, consider 2 goods like shelter and food. Measured as flows, quantities per unit of time. Okay. So yeah, if you have 5 units of shelter, you can get 7 units of food. 3 units of shelter for 8 units of food. Consumer income equals M, which is 100 euros a week. Price of shelter is 5 euros per square meter. Price of food is 10 euros per kilogram. Spending all income on shelter will give you a bundle of 20 shelter and 0 food, and spending it all on food will give you 0 shelter and 10 food. That's going to be your 2 extreme bundles. Oh, wait, is it? I don't know why that one was so behind. Sorry. I had a small issue with my stream return. Whatever. So, now budget constraint. Set of all bundles that exactly exhaust consumers' income at given prices. Drawing a straight line connecting the intercepts. If S and F denote the quantities of shelter and food, the budget constraint must satisfy. PSS, PF plus PFF equals M. F equals M over PF minus. You see, that's the part of economics I struggle with, like the math part. I don't understand the equations at all. It's my least favorite part of math, and now that it's in econ, I struggle with it. So the budget constraint, negative of the price ratio to 2 goods, opportunity cost. So negative price of shelter over price of food. So negative 5 over 10, so negative 1/2. What's M? Oh, that's okay. So it's oh, Okay, no, okay, so it's just price of shelter times shelter plus price of food times food is equal to your income. Okay. No, yeah. Looking at it like that, it's easier to understand. Yeah, minus 1/2, price of shelter over price of food. Okay, that's the part I kinda got, but then we're gonna get lines of disinterest, which I feel are the hard part I've got. Slope and position of the budget constraints are determined by the consumer's income and prices of goods. If the price of one good changes, the slope of the budget constraint changes. If the price of both goods changes by the same proportion, it shifts parallel to the original. Yeah, that makes sense. If income changes, the budget constraint shifts parallel to the original. Effective rise, yeah, so shelter gets more expensive. So it's got, it gets steeper. They change by the same amount, it's just parallel, you shift it. Now, where's the income changes? Oh, that's just income. Oh, and changing income is the same as changing the price of both by the same proportion. So here, that's just like you lose half of your income, or both food and shelter double in price. It's the same thing happens. Parallel to the original, shift parallel to, okay, it's the same. Budgets involving more than two goods. N is different goods. When n is greater than 3, budget constraints become a multidimensional plane. Oh god. To simplify, consider the consumer's choice between a particular good X and an amalgam of other goods Y, a composite good. Units of Y are defined so that its price is €1 per unit. That is just the same thing, right? How's that any different? This part's confusing. Like, the different goods thing. Don't really get that. Let's move on and we'll see what we get after. Nonlinear budget constraints are not uncommon. Example, okay, yeah, no, that's easy. It's just cheaper for no, more expensive for the first few, the first 1,000, and then less expensive for the rest. And so it's just your income, where it's steeper at the start because it's twice as expensive, and then it gets, what's the opposite of steep? Just less steep. Consumer preference. It's preference ordering a ranking of all possible consumption bundles in order of preference. I think I've got that. So, completeness, continuity, oh, it's explained. Completeness. Consumer is able to rank all possible combinations of goods and services. For any two bundles, A and B, the consumer can determine whether he prefers A to B, B to A, or is indifferent. Okay, so just consumer has to know what he likes. Transitivity, yeah, I know that one. That's if you like A more than B, and B more than C, then you've got to like A more than C. More is better. Oh wait, I do have them. Transitivity and completeness. Yeah, more is better. Other things being equal, more for good is preferred to less. So if you have one unit of shelter, and you price it, it's the same price as 5 units of food. Since there's more food, even if they're the same price, and you like price them at the same, you take the food, because there's more. Small changes in a bundle should not lead to a jump in preference for any two bundles, Z and W. If the consumers prefer Z to W, then any bundle sufficiently close to Z would also be preferred to W. Make sense? Convexity, mixtures of goods are preferable to extremes. Okay. Equally preferred bundles. Better than... Oh god, okay. Better than A, worse than A. Just make a cross. So for B, all of this would be worse than B. And for C, all of this would be worse than C. And then if you continue the lines, that's better. Okay. Indifference curve, okay, that's the part where I stopped paying attention in class and just got fucked. Set of bundles among which the consumer is indifferent. Bundles above an indifference curve are preferred to those on it. Bundles on an indifferent curve are preferred to those below it. Difference map, a representative sample of the set of consumers' indifference curves, used as a graphical summary of her preference ordering. It's really weird not to have the feedback in my ears because my headset is not plugged in to the yeah, okay. Just had to check that the volume is still working and that my music wasn't disturbing anything. Yeah. Essentially, like, I'm used to hearing my own voice, like, played back, but because my headset would be plugged into my computer. But I don't have that, because I'm just listening to music while presenting right now, so it's not possible. That's not good. Sorry. Just have a small injury on my hand that I've had for a few days that isn't really getting better, so it's... Okay, so indifference curve, so L is above it, so it would be the best bundle. Increasing satisfaction as the indifference curve gets higher. Okay. Implications of the properties of preference orderings. Different curves are ubiquitous. Okay. Any bundle with an indifference curve has an indifference curve passing through it. This comes from the completeness property. Difference curves are downwards sloping. Difference curves cannot cross. Comes from transitivity property. Concepts and preferences, okay. Indifference curves are convex. Less steep as they move downwards to the right along them. This comes from the convexity property. Yeah, some more is... Oh, right, yeah, so, yeah, no, I got confused. I thought it had to be the opposite, but no, since mixes are better, even if you have way less by being here, you'd still prefer, and you have more technically here. Since that one is above, just from the mix, it's better. Okay. How does this explain to me why indifference curves do not cross? Alright, I'm going to zoom in more. There we go. Should have done that from the start. Yeah, 11.9. Because D is better than E and F. Oh right, I think there's something about like wait. Oh right, I haven't finished my notes for this. I need to do that. Convex. And I don't know what. Yeah, ubiquitous just means they're everywhere, sure. Okay, no, I think I understood this. It was, I think there's something that says bundles on an indifference curve have to be or word the same. But presume two crossing indifference curves, that means D is equal to E in terms of preference. But F would also have to be equal to D. But we can, which from transitivity would mean that F and E are unequal. However, it's clear to see that E has both less shelter and less food than F, which means they can't be. I need to note that down. Points on the same curve, or words the same. There we go. Okay. Well, I'm gonna just get my mouse out of the way and unplug it. There we go. Now, a marginal rate of substitution. The rate at which the consumer is willing to exchange the good measured on the vertical axis for the good measured along the horizontal axis. Equal to the absolute value of the slope. Yeah, that makes sense. The slope, the slope is just how much one you're trading for the other, so, okay. Note that down. Marginal rate of substitution. Wow, that is worst note I've ever taken. Marginal rate of substitution. Yeah, absolute value of F. Wait. What? I mean, it's just. Why is that one an indifference curve, though? Oh, because it changes as you go through the thing? Oh, I just realized something. There we go. Okay, no, yeah. Just realized I hadn't changed the PNG tuber tag I put. I mean, this is VTuber. It's better in my opinion. Oh shit, I wasn't pressing the correct thing. Okay. Diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Okay, right, so it's at that point in the line. So that's why. On the indifference curve. Slope of budget constraints, slope of indifference curve. Rate at which consumer can substitute Y for X without changing total expenditure, without changing total satisfaction. Okay. Marginal cost of X in terms of Y, marginal benefit of X in terms of Y. Sure. I guess. Using indifference curves to describe preferences. Oh wait, if I put my mouse here, I can just hide it behind myself. I'm a goddamn genius. Okay, using a difference curve to describe preferences. Tex and Mohan like potatoes, but Mohan likes rice more than Tex does. Mohan's MRS of potatoes for rice is higher. Mohan's indifference curve are steeper. Okay, so they both like potatoes, but Mohan likes rice more. He's got a steeper one because it takes more potatoes to convince him not to get rice instead. Whereas for Tex, they're about the same. Okay. So yeah, we can see like there's the... Since Mohan likes rice better, you gotta have more potatoes. For... wait. Oh no, so it takes less potatoes to convince him to get rice because he likes rice more. Yeah, so he gets rid of more potatoes for more rice. This one is kind of confusing, I'd say. More is worse in satiation part. Satiation? Preferences do not have to satisfy the 5 properties. Completeness, transitivity, and continuity are sufficient to represent preferences using an indifference map. That's not. Shouldn't be. Okay. So completeness, transitivity, and continuity are sufficient for a indifference map. The fuck? Is it preferences? What? Now this one is weird. So E, D, and C are equal. Wait, no. Why is... That doesn't make sense. Like, C has extremely poor amount of potatoes and fish. So how could it be equal to E? This one? Wait. I don't understand why it's a circle. That doesn't make sense at all. Oh, wait, no, because he's fine satiated with that, because it's not cost, it's indifference. So he wants a certain amount of potatoes and fish to be happy. And so he'd be satiated, he'd be fine with C because it's the same amount. It's an amount he'd be fine with, even if it's less, because it's the same ratio he'd be happy with. He's just spending less, but getting an amount he's satisfied with. Yeah. Best affordable bundle. Indifference map, how bundles are ranked in order of preference. Budget constraints, which bundles are affordable. Consumers will choose the best affordable bundle. Same as reaching the highest indifference curve she can, given her budget constraint. Okay. Okay, that's where my notes stop. Interior solution. Consumer consumes a positive amount of both goods. Positive amount of both goods. There. MRS has to be equal to PS over PF. I'll just put PX over PY. That makes more sense to me. Point of tension C between budget constraints and indifference curve? What does that mean? Oh, at points where budget constraint and indifference curve have the same slope. No, that's what that means. I'm pretty sure. Points where budget and indifference curve have equal slope. God, I love writing with a fountain pen when I've got like my small light shining on the if I do like my model's always gonna look like it's looking at the bottom left just because of how because of where my notebook is. But yeah, when I have my small like desk light and I'm writing in with my fountain pen, it just looks like the ink is shining on the page, and that feels phenomenal. Just the amount of serotonin I get from just seeing the ink on that page is, as I'm writing, is phenomenal. The exception. Perfect complements have an interior solution, but no points of tangency. I'm just gonna write point of tangency. That is an important word. Point of tangency. Exception is perfect complement to an interior solution, but no point of tangency. You know, I'm just not gonna write the exception in. Don't think I... Wait, did I... 33. Do I have notes for... Wait, I'm gonna have to go back a lot. Ooh, yeah, I should have that equation down. Make an important square for it. Price of x times... I'm just gonna put quantity of x plus price of y times quantity of y equals m. Okay, and qx can just be written as x, qy can just be written as y, and m equals budget. And that equation is equal to... what's f? Oh, f is just... That's just good. Quantities. Oh fuck yeah, I forgot to write that. F and S are the quantities of shelter and food. Yeah, that's important to know. Okay, and small m, which the slope is equal to minus px over py. Opportunity cost. Okay, now that I've written that down, let's get back to page 33 for corner solution. Consumer does not consume one of the goods. Okay. Solution. Consumer does not consume one of the goods. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Condition is MRS is smaller than PS over PF when S equals 0. Okay, that MRS is smaller than PS over PF. Wait, but isn't MRS just the absolute value of PS over PF? Right. If we go back, the slope is slope to budget constraint is minus PS over PF. And MRS is smaller than PS over PF, but MRS is the absolute value of PS over PF. Wait. Sorry. I'm trying to. The absolute value of the slope of the indifference curve. Oh, of the indifference curve, not. My. Still don't think it makes sense. Just note it down and see what happens. Try to remember it. Or MRS is greater than PS over PF when F equals 0. Perfect substitutes. That's something to remember. Perfect substitutes. Okay. The best affordable bundle, there's the indifference curves, there's the budget constraint, and so the best affordable bundle is where the budget constraint and the indifference curve meet, where they're on the same point. Okay. And corner solution is when you have a very flat indifference curve. Alright, and it's the indifference curve that's the furthest out or up in this case, because that's the most satisfying one. write that down because that's not in the notes, but I think that's important. More satisfaction as in this curve rises up and right. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, because I2 is more satisfaction than I1, and so here I3 is the most satisfaction. So even if the budget constraint and the indifference curve meets fought down at I2 and I1, it's where I3 and the budget constraint meet that is most satisfying. Perfect substitutes. MRS does not diminish, rather it is everywhere the same. Okay, I'm going to use section for that. Perfect substitutes. So, MRS is constant. That's important. Indifference curves are straight. Indiff curve is straight. And if indifference curves are steeper than budget constraint, corner solution lies on the horizontal horizontal axis. Okay. So steeper means. Wait, why does steeper mean horizontal? Right. So let's imagine do I have a drawing software? Oh yeah, I do. Okay. Paint. So let me switch. There we go. That is black screen. I don't think OBS likes paint, apparently. If I do this, can anything be seen? Right. Does anything matter? Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Okay, well, that's too bad, I guess. Okay, let me try and understand that again. If indifference curves are steeper than the budget constraints, then the corner solution lies on the horizontal axis. But if the flatter lie on the vertical, do they have a graph? Oh, they do. There we go. So, equilibrium with perfect substitutes. So here we have a corner that is a line that is steeper. And so the line solution is on the horizontal axis. I really am struggling to understand that one. If it's flatter, that means it goes on for longer. Oh, right, no, it makes sense because it's steeper like this, then it's on the horizontal axis because it meets here. So the starting point doesn't matter because here there's the last indifference curve, which is the most satisfying one, reaches this point. So if it's steeper, even if it starts with meeting with one indifference curve here, it's going to end up with another indifference curve, and that will be the solution. And so when it's flatter, then the opposite would be true, where since the indifference curve it starts with would just do something like this, then the parallels would do something like that, and not like this, then just where it starts would be the most satisfaction. Okay. It's gonna be hard to remember that in like exam stress and all, but okay. That's important. So if indifference curve is steeper than budget curve, then budget curve corner solution on x axis horizontal. This means that the opposite is true as well. So I'm running out of space on my page, so I'll have to kind of make concessions on clarity here. Yeah, there's a lot of slides left. Okay. Hopefully I'll have enough space. If not, I'll figure something out. Okay, so perfect complements. Perfect complements. Okay. So indif curve is L-shaped. That's that. L-shaped. So, the slope of the inference curve is either infinite or zero. Well, yeah, that's the L shape. Don't think I need to write that down. More is better assumption is satisfied when goods are consumed in fixed proportions. What? So here, the best one would be in the corner on 2. So essentially this means that more is better assumption is satisfied. What does fixed proportions mean? Because there's never fixed, the proportions change. Does it mean when there's more is better means more for good is preferred. Any excess can be gotten rid of with no cost. So more is better is satisfied when goods are consumed in fixed proportions. The proportions are always variable. That's what the curve is. You know what? I'm just gonna ignore that one. Difference curves involving more than two goods. Similar to multi-good budget constraints, consumer choice between a good X and a composite good Y. Difference map in the XY plane. There are no examples because that's quite complicated. I didn't even get the budget one. I mean, that's just the same, honestly. Like, what? Consider the consumer's choice from a particular and amalgam of goods. Units of Y are defined. I mean, it's just the same thing, except if one good you have two in the on the y-axis. That's literally it. Okay, well, let's just ignore it then, I suppose. It's just X, Y. Okay. Cash or rent support. Housing benefit or rent support objectives to help people pay for accommodation. How does it work? People whose income fall below a certain level are eligible to receive a specified amount of rent support. Support can only be used to pay for rent, not to purchase other items. Government gives money to landlords to help pay the rent. Example, 500 weeks consumer income, 290 cash grant or housing benefit. Y denotes composite good, X denotes rent. So Y is just everything other than rent, like food, leisure, all that. Maximum amount of rent, cash grant, and housing benefit are equivalent to 790, yeah. Maximum amount of other goods, cash grant, 790. Yeah, that 790 so the would be it. And housing benefit is max is 500 because you only get the 290 for the rest. So yeah, 790, 790. And then which one's the Y is the composite good. So X is the yeah, that's a very weird curve because you have 500 and I mean it gets like pushed here, but the curve is here. Oh no, the curve does like this. It's like it cuts out, does it? Like this is the maximum you can. Okay, you know the curve's just not a straight line. It's like flat and then gets diagonal. Okay. Oh wait, what? Indifference curves? Yeah, for so just K. Where housing benefit and cost grant yield different housing benefit versus cost grant. Where housing benefit and cost grant yield different outcomes. Okay, this one's just weird. I'm just gonna ignore that. I don't have long to study, so I'd rather like go fast. Theory of choice and household production. I am very cold. I am going to put on a sweater. is some advice. It is quite a bit harder to put on a sweater with headphones on than without. That's just, free piece of advice. Oh shit. I left my shopping list in my sweater's pocket. That's... I hate wearing a sweater with pajamas because it just doesn't feel like comfortable. Like it with clothes it works, but I don't know why. It just makes my PJs seem like tight and like pulled against all of my body. Okay. So, Calvin Lancaster emphasizes the characteristics of consumption of goods, not the goods themselves that consumers care about. Consumption technology is the relationship between goods, the characteristics they lead to. Gary Becker emphasized that the consumer often puts their own time and effort into converting goods into characteristics. Cooking pancakes. The process captured by a household production function. You know what? I don't think that's gonna be important. So let's move on to chapter 5, which is wait, how much was I zoomed in? Okay, can't see. Don't matter. Let's just keep it like that. So, individual and market demand. Price consumption curve, PPC. Yeah, I know that. The set of optimal bundles traced on an indifference map as the price of good varies. Holding income and the prices of other goods constant. What the fuck is this shit? What the hell is going on here? Okay, that's not the... Wait. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Am I thinking of the wrong thing? God. PCC. Oh, okay, no, I don't know that. I was thinking of PPC, which is a very different thing. Actually, what is a PPC? Don't think I wrote down what it stands for anywhere in my notes. Okay, so it's PCC, not PPC. Very different things. Okay, so it's just set of optimal bundles traced on a difference map. Okay, I get it. I just don't like how shaky, wavy, and weirdly shaped it is. That it throws me off a lot. I can just connect them like straight. Okay, well, I guess it can't be straight. So, individual demand curve, relationship that tells how much the consumer wants to purchase at different prices. Quote the price quantity pairs from the PCC. Plot the price quantity pairs with price on the vertical axis and quantity on the horizontal axis. Price of shelter and quantity of shelter demanded 24.5, 12.7, 6.15, 4.20. So price. Okay, so you just have the points and you just connect them. I don't get why they're all so weirdly shaped. Like, you can make it better. Okay, but it's fairly easy to understand. The individual demand curve, it's just the prices, how much shelter is how much for good is demanded based on its price. It's basic economics. Income consumption curve, ICC, the set of optimal bundles traced on an indifference map as income varies. Income consumption curve. Okay, so just different budgets with different difference curves, and so the ICC just connects every optimal bundle, which means every bundle where the indifference and the budget curve are equal. So here would be an optimal bundle, here, here, and here, because that's where they touch. Okay? Angle curve. Curve that plots the relationship. I should be noting all of this down. What am I doing? Where would I be noting this down, though? That is a question. YED? PUD? I mean, is that even work? No? Oh, hello. Welcome to economics. This is my first time teaching, so good luck understanding. How is your day going? Okay, so angled curve is a curve that plots the relationship between quantity of good consumed and income. Called the income quantity pairs from the income consumption curve, and plot the income quantity pairs with income on the vertical axis and quantity on the horizontal. What? Oh, okay, no, that... I'm using, like, the school's slides for this, like the one we have to use in class, and I feel like they really overcomplicate things, because, yeah, this is just how much for good you want, depending on how much money you have. It's really not... Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. To be fair, guess it's... Sundays aren't known for going great. I've been hangover all morning myself, so it was a struggle as well. Hope it gets better in this evening or tomorrow. Sure it'll. The only good thing about being miserable is that it's more likely that you'll get better than that it'll get worse. Oh wait, I have notes on normal good is a good quantity demanded rises as income rises, and an inferior good is good quantity demanded falls as income rises. Oh, I think I do have notes on that. Oh, I do, okay. Oh, I even had an angle curve. Okay. The angle curve for normal and inferior goods. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You want less for its income decreases and you want more as it increases. Okay. Income and substitution effects for price change. Substitution effect is the component of the total effect of a price change that results from the associated change in the relative attractiveness of other goods. Oh, so yeah, the curve. How much did the price increases by the price increases, and so your budget curve gets pushed back, and so does your satisfaction indifference curve. So shelter, wow, increase it. Wait, it's a big increase in price. You go from being able to afford 20 units of shelter to only being able to afford 5. So that means 20 for 120 would be €6 per unit of shelter, and now 5, that would mean wait, I can't do math. 120 divided by 5. 24. Oh, you're right. Yeah, that makes sense. Wow, so yeah, it quadrupled. Okay. And so the component of the total effect for price change that results from the associated change in relative attractiveness of other goods. So essentially, this means that your quantity of right component. Okay, yeah. So that means my brain not braining. Okay, so essentially the substitution effect means that it's how much of, for example, let's say two substitutes like Coke and Pepsi. Let's imagine that you like Coke more than Pepsi, and so Coke gets more expensive. And so essentially the substitution effect is how it means how much you're gonna buy less Coke depending on how much you like Pepsi as a replacement or substitute to Coke. The relative attractiveness is how much Pepsi seems like a better or like as good an option as Coke. That's based on how expensive Coke is. An income effect component of the total effect for price change, the result from the sort of change in real purchasing power. And yeah, that's just how much And yeah, that's just how much more how much the increase or decrease in price matters depending on your purchasing power, which is how much of a good you can purchase. So for normal goods, it means it works the same way, but for inferior goods, since you buy less as you have more income, it's the opposite. No. Total effect is the sum of substitution and income. So this total effect is the substitution and income effect. Okay. Substitution and income effect. Okay, yes, so both are here. Okay. So this is the original budget. Then this is with more money, and this is with the increase in income. So it meets the original interest, and gives the income. Right. Does it? I think my think there's just too many lines for my brain to comprehend. I'm glad I'm not alone. I'm gonna do what I usually do. I'm gonna move on and try to pretend it doesn't exist until something else helps understand. Decompose total effect for price change. Oh, that might explain it. Price change into substitute effect and income. Draw hypothetical budget constraint B parallel to new budget parallel to it, a new budget constraint B1, and tangent to original difference curve I0. Movement from A to C is substitution, and from I to E is and from C to D is the income. Nice. So B1. Wait. That's the original, this one, and that's the parallel. And tangent to original indifference. And so okay, so that's the tangent to the original difference, which means, okay, and that's A, C, and D. I don't know why they don't have a B in there. Okay, no, now I get it. So from A to C, that's the substitution, because you have your original, and then, yeah, okay, and then from C to D is the income. You have your original and your parallel, and so that's your income. Then you've got the tangent of the original disinterest, and then from C to A is the substitution. Okay. That is a lot clearer with this slide. I don't know how to put it into practice, but it does make sense how to understand it, how to separate it at least. Giffen good. Good for which quantity demanded rises as its price increases. Okay. It's weird. Strongly inferior good for which IE dominates SE. Contrary to the law of demand. Yeah, that is true. I don't understand the strongly inferior good thing. Oh, because it means the effect of an inferior good where IE and SE work against each other, but stronger, because in this case, IE is bigger, the income effect is bigger than the substitution effect. Demand curve of a given good, yeah, I don't think potatoes are a good that you'd buy more of if its price increases. I really don't think so. Okay, example. Skis and bindings are perfect one-for-one complements. Equipment budget is 1,200 euros. Skis and bindings each cost 200 euros. IE and SE have an increase in the price of bindings to $400 pair. Okay, well, Queso is expensive and you plant it yourself. Yes, I guess that's a way to buy less potatoes. Thing is, then you have to take care of it, and that's where where I struggle. Like, I'm not good at taking care of stuff on a regular basis, whether it be plants, animals, or relationships. Doesn't seem to work out. I'm so good at it, I once managed to let a cactus I was taking care of die, which is very hard to do because they're meant to not need much water, like if at all, or like much care, and I somehow managed to just let it happen. So, I don't think that would work for me, but if potatoes if there is a sudden shortage of potatoes and they rise to be really expensive, you know what to do. Okay, yeah, well, perfect complements have an L-shaped indifference curve. And so you have your original budget with the parallel one. And oh, that was. Oh, wait, that is important. Ah, okay. I'm gonna have to deal with that afterwards. Yeah, okay, so then there's the tangent for here. And so C and A are the same. Wait, let me. Okay. I'm gonna note that down because that is quite important. Just as. So, substitution effect. A to C and income effect is from C to D. Now, so at this, it means the substitution effect is A to C. So there's no substitution effect, so they're perfect complements. So since they're perfect, since they're 1-to-1, substitution doesn't matter. But income does. And so there is just an income of effect. This is the income effect of 1. Which means that there is that is the shift. Perfect complements, yeah. Substitution effect is 0 because consumers prefer to purchase perfect complements in fixed proportions. And so the total effect is equal to just the income effect. Yeah, okay. That's logical. And that perfect substitutes. So I suppose that if for perfect complements the substitution effect didn't matter, for perfect substitutes the income effect isn't gonna matter, is my theory. Tea and coffee are perfect 1-for-1 substitutes. Consumers' budget is €12 a week. Coffee costs €1 a cup, and tea costs €1.20 a cup. I.e. of an increase in the price of coffee to €1.50 a cup. Yep. Okay, so for perfect substitutes, these are straight lines. You have your original line and then the parallel. So that's A, C, and D. And that's the original indifference curve with the tangent just being B0. So A to C and C to D. So yeah, there's just a substitution effect, that is the entire thing. And since C to D are just on top, that means there's no income effect. There you go. The income effect can be 0 for perfect substitutes, and the total effect on demand equals the substitution effect. If the substitution effect is 0, SE is 0 if the relative prices of the goods do not switch. So the substitution doesn't matter if essentially if the slope doesn't change. If both increase by the same amount, so the ratio stays the same, it doesn't matter? Or is it just if the more expensive one stays more expensive? Now, I think relative price is the price of a good compared to another, so it should be if it's just the prices increase so that the ratio stays the same. Consumer responsiveness to changes in price, that is price elasticity of demand. For certain goods such as salt, consumption is highly insensitive to price changes, while for others such as housing, it is more sensitive. Salient features of salt: it has no close substitutes, it constitutes a negligible share of total expenditure. Salient features of housing: there are substitutes available, and it accounts for a substantial share of total expenditure. Income And substitution effects for price increase for salt. Why do they have to make it so tiny? Essentially, on what the fuck is? Why do they have a little spike on it? Okay, so price increase. Right. Price increase is okay. So C to A, then C to D. Overall, it's just bogus. The substitution effect is very small because because it has no close substitutes, and even the income effect is small because it makes up a small percentage of income, so it does not matter much. Oh, I forgot to. Oh wait, no, I think my. God, my phone is freezing. Guess it is just very cold in my room because I am too cheap to turn the heating on. Which isn't the smartest, but it's also right next to my bed, so I don't wanna make shit like that. Let's just do that. Okay. So, total effect for price change would be small. Original equilibrium. God damn it. Speaking is hard. Who needs heating? Yeah. Just wear more clothes and just move that. Good substitute to paying for heating. Original fuck me, I can't speak. Original equilibrium bundle lies near the vertical intercept of the budget constraint. So yeah, income effect is small, and indifference curves have a nearly right angle shape. So substitution effect is small because it has no close substitutes, which means it is very, very it's almost a L shape. Income substitution effect for a price sensitive good. Yeah, so that's just normal. Where you have your original, your parallel, then the tangent here. And yeah, both the income effect and the substitution effect are pretty big. Yeah, the effect for price change will be large because the equilibrium bundle is far from the vertical intercept, and the indifference curves are smooth, they're convex. Okay. Market demand. The market demand curve is the horizontal summation of the individual demand curves. Generating market demand from individual demand. So do you just... Which one's in... Okay, so... It's just... You just take them and... put them together. This is from 16 to 8. It means for each... So it's 2... it's a 2 down for 1 across. So it's a slope of 2. And this is a slope of... Oh, these are the same slope. Oh, but since there's 2 individual demand curves, then instead of 2, this is 4 and 4. Okay, so it's 4 by 4 instead of 4 by 2. Okay. Algebra of market demand curves. End consumers each have that's okay. Low battery. End consumers each have demand curve P equals A minus BQ. Rearranging QI equals A over B minus 1 over B times P. Market demand is Q, which is equal to N QI, which is equal to N A over B minus 1 over B times P, which is equal to NA over B minus N over BP. What the fuck is all this shit? Ranging P equals A minus B over NQ. Okay, so A and B are just placeholders. Q is the quantity and P is the price. Q1 and Q2 are the quantities demanded by consumer 1 and 2 at price P. What is the market demand curve? Okay. So. So Q1. Okay, this feels like you just need. That's the part of economics I like the least. It's the parts where it's literally just like maths, and so that means like you just have to like practice it until you can do it. And like memorize the formula. It's like this is just. Like you just have to remember how this works, and that's it. There's really nothing else you can do. Oh, God. I think you need a lot of... Yeah, math is hard. It's just not a strong subject for me. I think my test is tomorrow, so I just don't think I have time to focus on the math part. P equals 30 minus 2Q. Q1 equals 15 minus 1/2 P. Q is Q1 plus Q2, so you just do it in terms of P. Then rearrange to have P in terms of Q. That gives you, then you can graph that. 10 consumers, each with demand curve. P equals 10 minus 5 QI. P is the price in euros per unit, and QI is the number of units demanded per week by the ith consumer. What's the market demand curve? Just QI equals 2 minus 1/5 P. Multiply by the number of consumers, so 10 times QI, so just 10 times 2 minus 1/5 P. Okay, I think the only way I'm gonna have to do that is just check it over before and then the exam and then try to remember it. Okay, price elasticity of demand. I know how this works. I've done that before. I can manage that. Measures the responsiveness of the quantity demanded of a good to variations in its price. Percentage change in the quantity of a good demanded that results from 1% change in its price. Well, okay. Essentially, it's just the price elasticity of demand. PED is just percentage change in quantity demanded over percentage change in price. That's just it. What are you testing tomorrow? Yes. I have my econ exam tomorrow. The reason I'm streaming my studies is I tried to get started on it all day, but I just couldn't, like, it just, I just stared at the PowerPoint and I could not get started. So I thought if I streamed it, I would I just have to do it. So just I'm doing this so I like get some studying in for tomorrow. Yeah, that's the that's the gist of it. Oh, okay, that's something. How much power does that PowerPoint have? What? Clearly not much if it couldn't get me to start on it. Okay. Almost always negative or zero due to the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Elastic demand, this one, whatever that is smaller than -1. Elastic, if no, inelastic. Wait, what? Unit elastic if PD equals 1. Inelastic if it's smaller than 1. Inelastic if it's greater. Okay, wait, let me. Yeah. Change in P leads to a large change in those notices of true pain. Not yet. That's gonna be tomorrow during class, during the exam. Then it's gonna be terrible, but the revision is just a prelude for what is to come. Why the fuck do they make, like, high school and uni teach different methods in the same course? Like, even fucking stats is different. And, like, how do you make it so impractical? This is just not cool. To add that to the notes, I guess. So PD is smaller than 1 or between -1 and 0. God. Or PED equals -1. Uh, and then it's or PED is smaller than -1. That's gonna be... It's funny when you think you know the subject, and then you get to uni and you realize it just slaps you across the face. Yeah. Elastic, inelastic, inelastic. Still 30 pages left. Point slope method. PD or... What even is that fucking symbol? It's just the euro symbol. It's like missing a bar. Why? Why is that the symbol? No in hell will I remember that. Well, I have a theory. Okay. What is the theory? Because mine is bullshit. Is that it's just bullshit. They want you to suffer. But I'm open to hearing different points of view. Okay. I do know Shrek. Sure. I guess that I no, I know it, but it's that's the entire theory. Okay, well, you know, amazing theory. I do think I am just still gonna suffer. I don't know if Shrek can help me now. Even if it's got a great song. Damn, I want to play that song now. Is there economics in Shrek? Does the movie touch on that at all? If so, maybe it's a bigger conspiracy than initially expected. If... No, I should just try to focus. Okay. Price elasticity of demand is the product of reciprocal of the slope of the demand curve, the ratio of price to quantity. Elasticity is inversely related to the slope of the demanded curve. The steeper the demand curve, the lower the elasticity. I often have this feeling where I see words and individually I know what they mean, but put together in this sentence like that, my brain just does not compute whatsoever. I am just not able to make sense of what is going on in here. Determine the price elasticity at the point where P equals 24. Okay, well, percentage change. Oh, wait, no. Wait. Oh, that I didn't. Okay, that is an important thing to know. The point slope method. I need to make a separate box for that. That is a new formula that I don't know. So 1 over slope times P divided by Q is equal to PED. Okay, that I'm pretty sure that's gonna be on the exam. So, P32 to 24 equals 32 minus Q. So, 32 minus 24. It's 8, so Q is 8. So, this is 24 over 8, and the slope wait, why is the slope minus 1? Wait, what? Why is... Wait. I think I'm missing something. Why is minus 1 slope? That... No. You don't write the 1. Minus Q equals minus 1Q. What? What do you mean? I know minus Q is minus 1Q, but there's no Q, it's just the slope is minus 1. I'm trying to figure out why that's the case. Okay. The slope is the change in P over change in Q. There is no change in... Huh. Do I just have to draw it out? 24... So when P equals 24, Q is 8. Okay, and so if Q is 7, then that means P is 25, Q is 6, P is 26. Oh, okay, that's why it's minus 1. It's just have to look at it and understand, I guess, that it's just P. Oh, yeah, no, it's just P plus Q. Okay, yeah, no, okay. That's why it's 1. It's just P plus Q equals 32. So, the smaller Q is, the bigger P is, and so it's minus 1 because for each Q that you lose, for each 1 that Q is smaller, P is 1 greater. Or the opposite. So it's minus 1. Okay, I guess that makes sense. It's going to be hard to remember. Okay, so it's changing P over changing Q. Okay, well. So yeah, then minus 1 times 24 over 8. 24 over 8 is just 3, and 1 over minus 1 is just minus 1, so it's just minus 3. That's the... So that's the price elasticity. The price elasticity is minus 3, which means it is elastic. Very, very elastic. Yeah, it's smaller than minus 1 or greater than 1, so since it's a lot smaller than minus 1, it's very elastic. Perfectly elastic demand, horizontal demand curve, perfectly inelastic, yeah, it's just vertical, where no matter how much you change it, it's not going to matter. Yep, that's how it's drawn. Had that. Perfectly elastic, perfectly inelastic. Then unit elastic is like a convex shape. I don't think they show it on here, but essentially it's the same shape as the indifference curves we looked at before. It's just like convex U type shape. Elastic 23. Yeah. 2/3 of the way done. Elasticity along a linear demand curve. When the market demand curve is linear, price elasticity is different at every point along the demand curve. Is it? Demand is elastic, unitary elasticity. Oh, okay, yeah, that. Wait, no, why? Because it always the price decreasing by 2. You're right. The price decreases by 2 and you get 2 new customers. Decreases by 2, you get 2. Decreases by 2, you get 2. So why is it 3? Is it because they want to use the slope is... Wait, if they use the point slope method, the slope is just 2 over 2 is just minus 1, and then P and Q, so here it would be minus 1, so P over Q, so 6 over 2, and then, so, okay, and yeah, and then for oh, okay, so looking at the point slope method, okay, elasticity differs. Unit free property of elasticity. Contrary to the slope of the demand curve, elasticity is not sensitive to the units used to measure price and quantity. Elasticity is unit free. don't understand what that sentence means. Oh, it means there's just not any unit. Like, you can't measure it with euros or liters or length. It's just a value. Okay. Well, price elasticity estimates for selected products. Yes. Stuff you need is very inelastic. Addictive substances like beer is inelastic. Stuff you generally buy or do often or need. Yeah. Determinants of price elasticity of amount. Oh, I know that. I'm pretty sure I have notes of that. Yep. Substitution. Yeah. How much substitutes are available. Budget share. The larger the share of total expenditure accounted for by the product, the more important. Also, how much of your budget it takes up. Okay, I didn't have that one. Okay. That one's interesting. So, budget share. Direction of income effect. Okay, so all the ones I have are essentially not here. A normal good will have a higher price elasticity. Oh wait, no, I do have that. Proportion of income. That's just the same thing as budget share. I don't have direction of income effect though. Direction of income effects and proportion of income, which is equal to just budget share. They're the same thing, just not written the same way. And then time, demand for a good would be more responsive to price in the long run than the short run. Yeah, of course, direction of income effect is normal good, it's more elastic. Budget share is the higher percentage of your money intake, the more it will be stable. The more the income effect will matter. And substitution, the more substitute are available, the more elastic it will probably be. Price elasticity is greater in the long run than in the short run. Elasticity and total expenditure. Will more be spent if we sell more units at a lower price or fewer units at a higher price? That's the only thing elasticity is good for. It's just to know whether or not like a company or a thing should raise prices. If it's inelastic, you for sure want to raise prices because making it more expensive won't cause a huge drop in sales, which means you'll make more money. But if it's very elastic, you'll lose a lot more customers. R equal P times Q, that's total expenditure. The effect on total expenditure of a reduction in price. Reduction in expenditure from sale at lower price, increase in expenditure from additional sales. So yeah, this is the same, and then here is the more you get, the amount you get from lowering prices to sell more, and this is the amount you that's the amount that's lost by increasing prices to sell, by increasing prices, which causes less to be sold. Recall, PD is quantity, is change in Q over Q. Oh wait, that's actually... Oh, the same thing is percentage change in Q. And if price elasticity of demand is greater than 1, it means changes in the opposite direction from a change in P. Percentage change in Q is larger than change in P. Yeah, so elastic. And percent change in Q is smaller than change in P, so they move in the same direction, which means it's inelastic. Price reduction increases total expenditure, a price increase reduces it. Total expenditure is at a maximum, and a price reduction reduces total expenditure, a price increase increases it. Inelastic, elastic, unit elastic. Toll, 30 € trip with 100,000 trips a day. Toll increases by 10%. What will happen to total expenditure? What happened when you finish this electric point? When I finish this, I am just gonna go to sleep because I have to wake up tomorrow. So, and also I went to sleep at 4 yesterday night because I was out with friends. So I need to get some rest after the exam. And I also have I have projects also tomorrow. Okay, well, anyway, I have stuff that I'll need to work on. Yeah, okay. I remember working on this one in class, and I remember it being annoying, so I don't want to... Okay, those are just examples. Yeah, it's just math. I don't want to do, because it's just going to take time, and I just need to know the concepts right now, not the practice. Because if I just need to know how to do the stuff. Okay, now income elasticity of demand. Okay, that's something. Measures the responsiveness of the quantity demanded of a good to variations in the average market income. Percentage change in the quantity of a good demanded, that results from a percentage change in income, which is just the same formula as price elasticity of demand, except on the bottom of the equation, instead of having price change, you have income change. That's also a weird symbol I'm probably going to need to remember. I don't know why they like weird symbols so much in like advanced math and econ too, apparently. So first factor is the reciprocal of the slope of the angle curve. Second factor is the slope of the ray. What? No, it's just the same thing. It's literally this the point slope method, but with income instead of price. N is greater than 1. Luxury good, so its slope of the ray exceeds slope of the angle curve. This means the higher the price, the higher the demand. Then the weird N is between 0 and 1. That's necessities, so ray is less steep than the angle curve. This essentially means that it's a basic good. The more normal, the more income you have, the more you buy. And then when it's smaller, it means that it is inferior. So the more income you have, the less you buy. Okay. Well, I hope you have a nice evening, morning, afternoon, whatever. Thank you. I hope that your next your next few days go better than this one went to. Yeah, goodbye. Hope stuff goes well for you. I'm gonna finish this PowerPoint, and then I'll go to bed I'll go as well. So, see ya. Okay, so those are the different curves. Income elasticities of demand for selected products. Buses. They're less than 0 because in cold grains, because I guess the more income you have, the more you want to like buy car and shit and take transportation and have shit food less. Rise, electricity, food, fuel, healthcare, housing. Yep, that makes sense. More you have, more you want. Now, I don't get why, right. I don't get why these are luxury goods. Like, don't buy books the more expensive they are. Nor marijuana. Like, I try to buy that cheap, not high. Higher. The more expensive it is, the less I can afford. Okay. Cross price elasticity of demand. Percentage change in the quantity of a good demanded. That results from a percentage change in its price. What? Oh! Those are changes in a good based on changes in another good? So quantity of X depending on quantity of the other and the price of the other good. Okay, that's completely new. So let me do cross price elasticity of demand. And so, that's again very weird. So, this is percentage change in Q of X divided by percentage change in price of Y, which is just changing Q over Q by changing QX by changing PY over PY. So, if which is Z, not a Y. Well, it's gonna be a Y for me. If that EXZ is greater than 0, X and Y are substitutes. If X, Y is smaller than 0, X and Y are complements. Yeah, no way in hell will I remember all of this on the exam. Cross price elasticities for selected pair of products. Yeah. Okay, well, I am finished. Well, that is the second PowerPoint done. So, like I said, this is where I'm gonna end the stream, because I'm gonna need to get some sleep. Let me just try and put my desk kind of back in order, at least a bit. Now, I know I've started like 5 different series of games and shit, and have finished none of them. Like Pokemon Platinum, Dishonored, Ragecraft, but I've watched a few videos, and so now, if you've made it to the end of the VOD, since no viewer already left, you're gonna know that next stream is probably going to be, drumroll, Pokemon Infinite Fusion, because I saw someone play it, and it made me want to play it again. So, that is going to be the game I'll be playing next stream, depending on when that is, unless I fall behind like hell again and have to start a stream to motivate myself to work once more. But other than that, it should be fine. I don't think that there is really gonna be a problem with stuff. Okay, well, I do say that while during the stream I received notifications showing me there would be problem with stuff. Okay, well, I'll deal with that off stream and try to figure something out. So, anyways, thank you, anyone for watching, VOD watchers. I hope it was fun. Thanks anyone from dropping by. I loved having you, and I hope you keep doing it. So, I'm going to cut this stream here. I hope you had a blast, because, well, even if I was working, it definitely made it more fun to stream it. So, it was great, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.